Hello, this is Darnell from Porsche of Ocala. I have here 4 911s. All 4 are great vehicles. The 2 here on the right are going to be 2017 911 Carreras, while the 2 on the left are going to be 2018 911 Carrera T's. I'm going to go around these vehicles, starting with the 17s, and give you quite a bit of information on the 911s. We happen to have 2 GT Silver Metallic 911s and 2 Guards Red Metallic 911s. Okay, first up here we have the 2017 911 Carrera 4S. Now what this means is that it is the S model, and the 4 stands for it being all-wheel drive. So we're going to go to the back for a second just to take a peek at the differences. So as you can see on the back of this silver 911, these 2 911s here, one is wider than the other. When you get the all-wheel drive system, the back end of the vehicle is going to be a little bit wider to give you a wider track for stability. You also have a light strip that goes across the back, and it's full LED lighting. Now with this being the S model, you have a 3-liter twin turbocharged flat 6 engine that produces 420 horsepower. It's a very impressive engine. Going into this new generation, obviously Porsche had to be a little bit more efficient. So emissions was very important. So these produce more horsepower, more torque than the outgoing generation. You have the Carrera Sport wheels. They're 20-inch, black with the chrome accent around them. Helps the car stand out. It gives it a very sporty look that you would expect from the 911. Now all 4 of these are the 991.2 generation. So a few changes were made from 17 on. You have parking sensors in the front and rear as a standard option now. So as you can see on the front bumper, you'll have 4 sensors spread across. Inside the grille here, you have active flaps to help control the airflow to the oil coolers. This vehicle has the upgraded headlights, which are going to be the Porsche Dynamic Light System Plus, whereas Porsche calls it the PDLS Plus. What that means is that you're going to get 4-point LED daytime running lights, which you'll get on all of the 911 models, but you'll get the LED headlights with high beam assist. On the S model, you do get the larger red brake calipers. This one has the sport design mirrors. As you can see to the one to the left of it does not. So you get an opening here on the mirror. Again, this is going to help with airflow. With this one being a cabriolet, top operation is extremely simple. There's a toggle on the center console. You can operate this top up to 31 miles per hour. That means if you wanted to put it down, all you have to do is slow down to 31, or if you want to put it back up if it started to rain, again, all you have to do is slow down to 31 miles per hour. The 4-point lights are Porsche's new signature. So on these LEDs, you have 4-point LED brake lights. You have a small back seat with the 911. You can bring down the back part of it and use it as a shelf if you'd like. These are rear engine design, so the cabriolet will sit here and then your engine's going to be underneath here. This vehicle is equipped with the 14-way seat with the memory package, so you do have memory function for the driver's side. Going into the vehicle, the things that you find here will be similar throughout all of these 911s. There are going to be some slight changes when we go from model to model. But this one was equipped with the red gauges to match the exterior, as well as the sport chrono clock here, and then the red seat belts. Now the sport chrono is an option that you get with the Porsche 911 that's going to give you a sport and sport plus mode. It'll give you launch control, dynamic transmission mounts, and this dial right here. So this dial is going to actually allow you to switch your driving modes. So all you'll have to do is you can keep your hand on the wheel and you can touch here, and it's going to switch from normal, which is up top, to the right. You're going to have the sport mode, you have your sport plus, and then you have an individual mode that you can customize. Now the individual mode, let's just say you wanted to drive around and have the spoiler up and leave the car in just the normal mode, and utilize the PASM, which is Porsche's active suspension management, which is going to be your button that's right down here. Okay, this will allow you to stiffen up the chassis. So let's just say you wanted those options. You can preset it in the menu here, or in the TFT display, which is going to be the digital display here. And then once you turn the dial, instead of hitting multiple options, you just use the one switch to change it. Now, speaking of the TFT, this has tons of information on it, and this is a standard option on the Porsche. It's very easy to use, especially with this one having the multifunction steering wheel. So with having the multifunction steering wheel, you use the roller that's here on the right so that you can cycle through all the options. Here's your vehicle menu. You have your radio function, your phone function, your map here, so you don't have to have it just on the PCM, which I'll go to in a second. Then you have your navigation screen, which will show your turn directions when you're using the nav, and when you're not using the navigation, it'll show you your previous destinations. Here you have your trip information, your tire pressure information, your torque split, seeing as it is all-wheel drive, it shows how the power is distributed between the front and rear axle. And here's how you would activate the lap timer that's built into the car. And you also have a G-force meter that you also get with the Sport Chrono package. Okay, so once you cycle around back to the vehicle menu, here you'll notice that if you push the roller in, you access a whole different menu. That one of the best features that the TFT display has is it gives you access to your settings. So you can control all of your settings, or the more important settings, right here from your hand being on the steering wheel. That way you're not being distracted and turning your head away from the road. Here's the PCM with navigation. In 2017, this PCM was redesigned. It is still a touchscreen like the previous generation, but what they've done is they've made a flatter display to give it more of a frameless display to give it more of a flat, clean look. If you bring your hand closer to the screen, now you have your menu pop up with the necessary options that are available. Going into the radio function, everything again is easier to operate. It operates smoother. It's more of a crisp, vibrant display. Dual zone climate control is standard on the 911. This vehicle has a premium package plus. So what that's going to give you is quite a few things. One of which is heated and ventilated seats on the driver and passenger side. You're going to get the Bose surround sound system, the Porsche entry and drive. And what that means is that here, so you have your key in the ignition. Normally you'd have to put the key in the ignition. What this does is it eliminates having to put the key in, so that you have this one that stays here, and as long as it senses the key, it'll start the vehicle. And it'll also give you comfort access. And the top controls are right down here. Again, very simple to operate. You would just pull this to bring the top down. You pull this one to push the top up. And then you have this button here so that you can bring up your screen to help reduce the noise in the vehicle. Okay, now this GT Silver one is a Carrera 4, so it is the standard engine, but it's all-wheel drive. The standard engine, again, is a 3-liter, flat 6, twin turbocharged engine, just like the Carrera S. But instead of producing 420 horsepower, it produces 370 horsepower and 331 pound-foot of torque. With both models, you'll receive peak torque at 1700 RPM. It's a very impressive power output. And part of the reason they do this is using the VTG, which is a variable turbine geometry that you get from the 911 Turbo S, which is Porsche's top sports car. This is going to allow the car to produce boost at very low RPM very rapidly. So this has the 19-inch Carrera wheels as opposed to the 20-inch Carrera Sport wheels that we saw in the previous vehicle. This has the PDLS instead of the PDLS Plus. So what that means is you have, instead of LED lights, you have xenon lights with the 4-point LED daytime running lights. Again, everything inside is going to be pretty much the same, except this one does have the red interior. Bordeaux red to be specific. Has the black dash with the red stitching. This has the GT style steering wheel, so it's 10 millimeters smaller than the wheel that was on the vehicle that we just looked at. And two things I didn't mention with the last car. These are both PDK, which is Porsche's double clutch transmission. So with that, when you get the Sport Chrono, you get a button that's in the center of your dial there, and that allows you to use what they call sport response. So for 20 seconds, the vehicle will close the wastegate so that you get extra power for 20 seconds. So you're getting extra boost going to the engine. This vehicle has a sport exhaust equipped with it. So you have your exhaust button there that'll allow you to turn that on and off. When you put the car into the sport mode, it'll automatically activate the sport exhaust, or you can activate it as an individual option. Now, the way you can tell a vehicle has sport exhaust, as you can see, this vehicle here on the left has four tips on the outsides of the rear bumper, while this one has 2 exhaust tips directly in the center. Now, these two 2018 Carreras are special editions. These are the Carrera T's. So what they've done with these is they've taken the standard Carrera that has the 370 horsepower to 331 torque, and they made it more performance driven. So as a standard option on this vehicle, you have the 20-inch Carrera S wheels in gray. You have mirror caps that are in gray that match, as well as the slats back here on the rear of the car, and then the badging. You have the sport exhaust as a standard option. The dial on the steering wheel to change the modes is a standard option. You get the Carrera T badging on the side of the car, the decal. This vehicle is 14 pounds lighter than the standard Carrera. And these two are in a manual transmission. So the double clutch is a 7-speed double clutch. These are a 7-speed single clutch transmission. This is a manual. They added the special so now you have the red markers to show you what gear that you're in right there on the shift lever. You do also have a strap here instead of door handles. Again, they wanted to reduce weight on this vehicle. As you see, everything inside is the same as the previous one that we looked at. This one does have the leather interior, has 18-way seats instead of the 14-way seats. With a black dash. This one has the tilt and slide roof, so let's open that up so you can see what that looks like. Really helps open up the interior to the car. Now, seeing as these aren't Carrera 4s, they are rear-wheel drive. So see, that really changes the look of the car. And what's interesting about this is once you actually open the sunroof, your spoiler reacts different. So the active aerodynamics in the car, this spoiler will come up on its own at 58 miles per hour. But it'll change how it comes up based on that sunroof being open. Porsche's done what they can to make these as performance driven as possible. They've even stated that this change that they've done to the back here has added horsepower. Said if they didn't do this, created this opening here, the car would be 80 horsepower less than it is. So what that does is that allows the air that's going around the car to go directly feed into the intercooler and then directly into your turbo, and then the hot air comes out these openings on the bottom of the bumper. So this is the final Carrera. It's the Carrera T in Guards Red, just like the Guards Red on the first vehicle that we looked at. This one has a PDLS, just like the second vehicle. The wheels are going to be the same. The gray wheels, again, the gray mirror caps. The inside of this car is a little different. It has what Porsche calls the Sport Tex interior. So you do have a black interior with the red stitching. You have the red straps for the door handles. And this has the black and red stitching with the Sport Tex, which is really nice. Again, this has the 18-way seats, just like the other Carrera T. On the inside, you'll notice that the steering wheel is a little different. So this is a combination of the steering wheels from the first 911 that I showed you, as well as the silver Carrera T. So the Carrera T has the GT style steering wheel. So again, it's 10 millimeters smaller, but this has the GT style multifunction steering wheel. So you have all the controls on the steering wheel, plus the smaller steering wheel. Okay, I'm gonna go around these vehicles just once more so you can take a good look at them. Again, the two on the right are 2018 Carrera T's, and on the left here you have the 2017 Carrera 4 and the 2017 Carrera 4S. All right, once again, my name is Darnell. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.